a love that's never failing. Let mercy fall on me. Everyone needs forgiveness, the kindness of the Savior, the hope of nations. Savior.
This is Chariot TV.
Mamu nyina makwa ba the Chariot TV esto ha action time. Safi ana one yen ehia mu a yema wakwa ba biem the ba action time eso. We are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube. If today is the first time joining us, we welcome you to Action Time. It's a program we hold every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. GMT, and then at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So wherever you are watching us, you are gladly welcome. We have so many things to discuss today. Last week, we had our own brother, Brother Listowell Safo. He's a medical doctor, and he has been giving us some perspectives as far as abortion is concerned. And this week, by God's grace, we have him with us once again to share his perspective, or the medical perspective on abortion. We have looked at so many things in the previous week. Today's discussion is going to take another leg, and we will probably conclude on the medical viewpoint of abortion by the close of today's discussion. So if you are here for the first time, we welcome all of you, and we hope that you are going to enjoy today's discussion. If you are joining us, I can see people are joining. Please let us know where you are watching us from. The program is live, so let us know where you are watching us from, and as time goes on, we will definitely read out your comments, and more especially if you have questions. Last week after the session, there were some questions that came up, and we will definitely answer those questions on this show. So if you have any questions regarding all that you've heard so far since last 3 weeks, we've been on this program for 3 weeks, you can drop them in the comment section. The doctor is here. Today is probably the final day for him to share his for us on this abortion. So if you have questions relating to anything we have discussed so far, you can always drop them in the comment section. Let us know where you are watching us from, and then share the link as well. It is also a form of evangelism. I have spoken so much, but I would want you to also understand that we are doing this work together. So in as much as you join and you share in the discussion, we would also urge you to also share to others so that they would also benefit from it. And in so doing, you would also be helping save the souls of others. The discussion we are having on abortion is a very serious one, a sensitive one, but that which needs to be had so that we can know how we ought to control, or how we ought to order our steps here on earth. So I would invite our brother, but before I do that, Mecca Chikakra Mako Brofo too much. So yamamu nyina makwa babiem said the medi kan ekan no mo a omo joining from Facebook, from YouTube no obaso a ma yehu baby a wo hwe yen efi. Let us know na fe no what question be a doctor will have say what question be a so far discussion I have no be a chire wa adwen bia no betimi dia to ho no na ye be pebre na wa answer all those questions ene on abortion. Be a chire wa adwen bia no ye be pebre na fe no ye bisa doctor many questions be that. And no, I would want to, and I say me can make a tree, but also cover of you. Umfa and cheme. No questions near the beba, but that will be at the tail end of the program. But see, the moon share link no and for my who here I am pan said the bear a full phone to be to me about program. So no, a men's member no may invite a doctor amana akame home. Dr. Bimao Akwaba.
Yeah.
Na apome.
Adumo Nyakopadum.
Yɛda Nyankopɔn
I swear.
Nyankopɔn adom yɛda Nyankopɔn ase. Me ho yɛ paa. Last 3 weeks, I think, we began a discussion on abortion. And there are so many things that have transpired so far. And so many people have also responded, looking at the responses that came, and even personal messages I have had from others regarding the topic. It suggests Nkrofo have really taken what we have been saying a bit seriously. And prior to the discussion, people were having certain issues in their minds, especially regarding contraception. That was where we ended last week. But for the benefit of those who were not able to make it, and I said, join us in a 3-week discussion, I want you to just give me a summary. A dozen, but try and give me a summary of everything we have said or done so far as abortion from 3 perspectives is concerned.
Okay. Yeah. Me that Emia Obeda say na afi ma that Charity TV and so I say akwanya wo dia ma me say minimum din komo efa abortion. I think say so far no free sha say no ye hu e kasa abortion say you betimi actually mu 2 main words say ebia oba fefro na number 1 be no I say that is a spontaneous abortion. And yes, I can say yeah, free deliberate and I say elective abortion. I know I can was so be a shada what fair for Navia, why do I shut up go? Now you can say about abortion, so spontaneous abortion, you know, it could be so many reasons. I can say male, you know, yeah, if I say for a shada so about spontaneous abortion, I can miscarriage. Or in a layman's term, no miscarriage, you know, and they say, "Bua fair fra ebia, bibia, ya rebi, and I say bibia uncle ye when the pedium no, when you polish no about for a night to me a day, eba, and when you say be a 1 hour should I day, a year ago." Na eba said your mom or more or more should a ye abortion work as a bonnet na enyino cry even de because tum eto nchen a eba asetrem a bone kese pa no you can say and no be a go fo gina so de yes and say oh you repu me mama warin so no and say oh yeah I'm planning for that and you know enyim ye ntino obi say oh yeah wo bebrebe ntino yentimi hwe mofra no any other reasons. Now, the about stress and say there are very, very, very infinitesimally very rare reasons. Obi say because of this, a warranty say medically, logically, spiritually, or some me about very rare reason. And now, Becca manka reason be a cry. The man can say a case by case situations. And I will say, me can say, okay, these are the rare reasons. Me can't rare reason me actually, but be near coma na and share reason. And I will say, to say there's absolutely no reason. So we better that at terminate a child. Now the entire imagine so near cancer as when he say abofra, you can say abofra ye fruma, a brabo fresh say ya bra abofrano, obano kusia. And the bearman who in Yakushia. At that point, that first contact, a child is formed. Friday for me. Now, it may key, a very good point in our discussion say, at any point in your life, beyond you grow.
Yeah.
There has never been a time my nipa you grow, of course. But at any point, be from conception or fertilization to death, you grow. And that is very important. Say what is just way so. In Jabofrana, kosua egg kosua sperm na ehiem no abofra na afọ me enti free okona abofra na nyini ofree efrum beto foma he or she continues to grow. With it 12 years, the growth continues. 30 years, the growth. So at any point, we are not even gonna say, be the 12 years, no 1 year, no nipa. No, be the 1 year, no nipa. No. So we can go as far as back, because I say, more doctor for now, more yes, watch you guys say, about for no, the 10 year, viable. Viable means want to be in casa, about want to be in casa. Want to be nanti. Okay. So why do we put people on ventilators? I don't know. Be a critical. Edit tube should not name. Yeah, they tube. Actually, yeah, from.
Yeah.
Onukra one yina. Sebi whole work or no. We try to save that life. It doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
At any point we are and so we about front at any point that is about.
Okay.
Now, like I said, different types of abortion methods are made by use. Like I said, be a no, be a no, be surgery, either a minor surgery or major surgery. Like I said, no, only more. About front way from this, Onyankopon Emma Obano hormones be a boy mamma friend in. Into mom we used to know almost stop it those hormones from what coming to the child to help the child grow.
Okay.
Being mifepristone the more stop it progesterone production. Progesterone na ewo oba ni mu ne boa mo akora ni nyini. Nti ebra mo wafa mifepristone no progesterone ntimi produce. Nti abofra no nso onya in a way no onya aduane ni o hwe na konfo. Nti abofra no come. And that is sad. That is sad because in some of the Ukrainians say one open one. Next one if you see how you feel like what communicate and that's why I want to in a very hot weather.
Yeah.
Like so just imagine you've taken the child's sustainability from him or her and I'm funny bill like I said another medication misoprostol we use to and also we use that first one just think about it. We use the first ones and I said, "Oh, so come about friend to know you use another second medication."
Yeah. Just to not to interrupt you, but just to bring viewers' attention to the old canon. Cecilia said, a friend is saying when it comes to intro the medical part, Mikai said there was a time or the reasons that people give to cause abortion. Now, said there is no reason. Mikai said time and me walk a year. I think I was in the pharmacy one time, and there was this couple that came in, and almost a buy, they came in and then they requested to talk to the pharmacist. So I told them they were speaking to one, and they told the man told me say, in fact now umukra akwala you could see, so I think it's just barely 2 years old or just about 1.5 or so. Oba no catch me say asemwaba. Let say asemwaba. I was thinking Sakurana na ebia wakono medrobi or something. We have first aid. Because we didn't have some of the accoutrements to deal with first aid or something.
Yeah.
But later no mama tena say na me hu say okay ebia na nya akora no. No catch me say ne benye na ne yere enyem say what's the negative no Australia me fa mani nto ne ba nanim na said yet no memboa no wo sa kwan no so at as no asama ye kan no enye something that ebia a muslim custom. These are things that happen. It's a reality central. You might think say ebia it's very far away from you, But these are issues that like people go in on a daily basis, and I say everyday people like have a feel of it. The discussion we are having, in a way, it concerns each and every one of us. Maybe you've not gotten there, but later on you will get there. And just as we've started on the medical side, I am very grateful. So you keep hammering on the point, say there is absolutely no reason for you to take a life when it comes to this discussion of abortion. I know, sir, we will bring the religious perspective also to it. I just want to put that point across because now it enriches the discussion. So you can go on with the mifepristone other drugs that now will come once.
Thank you. That was a very good point. To buttress, the and sometimes some of these, cases near very emotional. Of course, we sympathize with some of those cases. Like we can't say Lady Bia, you're real poor, like very sad, but what can she do? And she's doing it, very sure, so we're very happy. And and again, again, my Mr. Anstre said, yes, a BBC, you don't mean to do certain things, but okay, we have to let you know, say, I don't know why, and don't expect anybody to sympathize with you for deliberately, sinning. Okay, you can't in the context of marriage, just imagine in the context of marriage, and you can say, don't worry, let's okay and Funsobia, and appeal to you. Say, no man and you're going to talk a little bit about the the mental consequences of abortion, today. But also who say, some procedures we say no go for far the abort and cry we and it's and fidina sabi edisho masi a year bofrano say can assume very, very sad. So now complication a deliberate more a man, sometimes and go for brain can't emma botimeka and do be on can't so warrior not quite a problem. But on can't say be a bear man say na the last week you can't say so that's why you be sad that when you are your bear man some will be yes you're equally part. You have to tell your partner you will be partner. Say now we try not say see what worrying so that's a worry ma next say when we say we be sir. You have to tell God and tell your husband. Because guess what? So the you're going to live with the guilt. And to know all these procedures it being successful, but complications here I can't want them. And I feel after that, the procedures, the medical abortion, the procedures near can't want them. Mr. say, and see, I can't want them and we had which might heard the previous videos, And you jump call, you can't a little bit about the complications, some infection, any perforation, won't be my perforate. I would know my car, because guess what? We operation here, so maybe try our skin now. A crow, maybe say when I'm say crow is here, a tremor down is here. Me now when you got me sonny bobo, me now when you can't because your bobo, Ghana Park, anymore. You are good draw.
And easy.
You could do like it's a more part into one near bobo.
Yeah, boy.
Near that go, you're 3 home. Hey, I cannot, I cannot even think about it now. Maybe one ask us to be so we were doing all this, but anyway, just imagine say we it gets scarce. And
Yeah.
so these cars for more strictest, you know,
Yeah.
you form like into sana we no say we
Tie.
start preaching na tia e ho aka etwa beda ho enti enye natural bio. It's in a one way no be brilliant because you don't have, even though you have a womb, but you don't have environmentally friendly womb.
Exactly. I think say their work canon makes more sense, especially to viewers who watched the previous episodes. The video. We show the video. The internet. We would encourage people who were not preview to the previous episodes to go back and then have the advantage of watching the episodes. Although we apologize in advance. Some of the content, you have to exercise some discretionary measures because they are very gory and they are very, very graphic. Show, but I wouldn't want us to show it once again. But you can just go back to the previous episodes and then see. But the American was that you could see that this curatage, omode extra almost say at the end or use to vacuum na aspirator no extra colana said parts ni nyina. So what they do is they use the curettage to insert through into the vagina, into the womb. Now, as a move scrape, I said, we share video now, or scrape. So that scraping, can cause scar tissues. Ama awodiano will become scarred into the environmental friendly nature of the awodiananka. After ya worry, I wish you say, Yankopon be mao, a banner, clan, but a top, awodianimua. Awodianin a cha. It's now crying to me then you blame on Yankopon and then blame it. So as a can is really, really serious.
Yeah. And you know, see a sharing so now your advice here home if they're going through situations like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's better, it's definitely better to give a child to give birth to a child than to abort it. Definitely, no matter the consequences, always better. It's always better. Saving a life is always better. See a sharing song. Okay. And I think that from there, the idea about say in the context of marriage, sometimes in a quest say you try effort contraceptives. We try to do something about prevent pregnancy. So as abortion, terminates a child, contraceptives prevent a child formation.
I think that is the key point. I will say we have to distinguish. So abortion and contraceptives and as a contraception and so I want you to just emphasize that distinction for us again or for our viewers again. Say abortion is not the same as contraception. And if so, Mamin Bisa will say when it comes, I know that we are not dealing in the religious aspect, but who say abortion is not right religiously, biblically speaking. There is no form of abortion. Obeka said you can justify it in Oshemu detailer. When it comes to contraception, are we in the same zone? Is contraception wrong?
Okay. We have different types of contraception. Okay, contraceptives. And ana enye na so busa say wrong. I say we are talking about contraceptives be or about cause problem in terms of aborting a child after a child is formed. Okay. And that is where it makes it wrong. Now, let me issue a disclaimer here.
Okay.
You can't contraceptives that we are talking about contraception within the confines of marriage. Okay. Within the confines of marriage, because sex is for married folks. Don't worry, you don't have any prerogative or you don't have any right. You don't, like intimacy. About amount. Okay. And I was saying, so say at American and yet one more worry. By the way, about contraception, okay, contraception has led to, and I'll say a little bit about it. Some form of contraception has led to abortion more than just prevention of a child. Okay, against popular, beliefs, say, because for instance, America, even Ghana, right? Mumfa condoms, a man called for think about it. Okay, make condoms available to the youth, to school children, to other abortion.
Yeah.
Okay. Bible they say God catches the wise
in his own craftiness.
Exactly. Now, also with the man, but the odema omono any 100% effective. So that means that number one, there will be an increase in promiscuity, number one, because you're making them think that those contraceptives ever prevented pregnancy. So they will use it more, thinking, say, oh, on him. But, and I'm saying 100%, some will get pregnant. Okay, and then it will end up, and I'm saying, intimate, you have a good number of them on bed day. And at the end of the day, you have a good number of them that will what cause abortion.
Yeah, I see the sequel. So in the first place, start promotion of some of the contraceptive methods, by ABR.
So,
also, yes, specifically for those unmarried, Yes. Thank you very much for emphasizing that. So that's promotion of mass promotion of some of these contraceptive methods, especially to the youth. I think instead it is a contraceptive method, and by so doing, won't conquer abortion. Actually, because they are not 100% efficacious, they end up leading to abortion, because in and they become confused and they become frustrated and overwhelmed.
Yep.
And then they are prone to, so I think it makes sense. Yeah.
Yep. I wanted to make that point clear. Again, it's not for those who are not married. Contraception is for those who are married. So let's come back to our info.
Okay.
It's no question I would say, yes, contraception be or and yet, okay. There are three main debates. I want to, just to be fair, okay. Three main debates about contraception. Now, the entire contraception about share abortion and say, you say about fra nini shall say free what conception. I brought bano kosia ni beman who so the abishia. And the contraception be na over far after about fra no the former way, you're likely to lead to what? Abortion, right? It's likely to lead to that. And the contraception be able to use a what that propensity, a what that mechanism to likely lead to abortion, then as a GD4 or as people, I will say careful in using those contraceptives because they are likely to lead. And then we'll go to some of these, in a minute. You're likely to lead to what? To abortion. Now, make I say, there have been researches, on these contraceptives because as a new, debate in terms of which contraceptives could lead to abortion. Okay. It has been a debate that has been ongoing for a very long time, because the Roman Catholics are very big on, contraceptives, like against contraceptives. They're very big on that. And because of how, they are, so there've been a lot of researches, that have been ongoing. But I just want to bring out a little more, to let's be more, technical. Since we have a scientific debate, we have ethical debates. Ethical means ethical, and then the sanctity of life debate. That's where Christianity is, right? We have the scientific medicine, ethical or sanctity of life, spiritual debate, and with the last one, which is psychological, physiological, or social debate. Okay, so we have the scientific, we have the ethical or sanctity of life debate, and we have the psychological or philosophical or social debate.
Okay.
But, in the context, the discussion, some of these contraceptives, if you say about a year contraceptives are, say last week, we have the natural method, we have the the barrier, and then we have the hormonal, contraceptives, right? We are not talking about when it comes to natural one. We talked a little bit about it, right? We talked about breastfeeding could be natural. It's what we about for now about no for no, and we will not get pregnant for the most part. About 94 to 96% of the time, you're likely not to get pregnant. You can be say, of course, abstinence, which is always the best, to abstain. Again, in marriage, we're not talking about mama warrior. Okay, so marriage folks.
Yeah, we want to just show the I think last week you made mention of what the slide be by. So a TF4 can just or a chef4 can just follow as you go through. So I think they're all kind of
before
internal exactly. Call back or before
this is fine. This is fine.
Okay.
Again, marriage, okay, a wife for woman to abstain, okay, you can abstain. So I can say abstinence, and yet why did you catch them someone on your master
crown of we are our for doing somewhere.
Okay,
what do you see never to whole warrior?
Exactly. Okay, I for you say, you can abstain, okay, you can abstain. God has given us the spirit of self-control. Remember that. Okay. And when it comes to the contraception, but the natural one, abstinence is there. Okay. And then moving forward, we have the breastfeeding, it's so beautiful. Even though some may think it's weird, but I always get thrilled and happy when I see women breastfeeding their children in public, to be honest with you.
I think last week I made a statement. I said something. Say, some of us we interact with our ladies very much, and can say some of them they don't like to breastfeed their children simply because the more they breastfeed their children, the more saggy their breasts become, and the more non-appealing they look to their husbands. So because they did not get married to their children, but rather they got married to their husbands, they prefer to keep themselves appealing to their husbands. So the argument has always been said, no problem, mama atuchende na menyo na atwenchom de enen ka mema ahyehyɛ ama mekum. So I was a bit kakra, but when you explained it last week, said breastfeeding is even a form of contraception. I think it made a lot of sense.
Yeah. And again, guys, more and the ladies too. Okay. One thing that we should know is that we should trust the power of the mind. Okay. We should trust the power of the mind. The reason why I'm saying this is because about intimacy, it is not necessarily from the skin. Okay? Intimacy is not necessarily from what you see. Okay, it is about what you think about what you see.
Okay,
it's not about what you see or how you're seeing it. It is what and how you think about what you see. Okay, this is very, very important. Okay, I mean, you guys will agree with me. Sometimes, we bit my naked. Okay, you will not feel anything.
Oh yes.
You don't feel anything for the person.
Yeah.
The person may have the most beautiful breasts, the most beautiful tummy, the most beautiful, buttocks. But, just say the only way I always start here, I feel even say you look beyond, you think beyond what you're seeing. Okay. You think beyond what you see. People get attracted to young kids. So be only breasts. Okay, so again, God has given us a beautiful mind, as in the movie. A beautiful mind, but the beautiful mind can be used for sin, for evil. It's Onyankopon ayeshe emre ene enna amanipa. As Onyankopon asema kan Acts 17, and then Ecclesiastes 3,
Yeah.
It's abofra, the child must eat.
Okay.
Abofra bread no. Minka se oba no ensene mre nyina abofra no. Okay, minka sasa. Of course, why you kunu? Abofra is the third person. Is you feeling you go back to your husband, or so you go back to your wife. You should maintain that intimacy. Abofra shouldn't come in the middle. Emma already need the engu, but a best abofra feed said the wood did you table who now did the and son of a back, son of a friend, the time was so several if you okay. Until the Jamaican say, and yet on Pokua night, church on a camano, and I was a bear man, who say, and not a year. Into no, any pass of any air, sir. The BBC of Obanes and Hunya couldn't be away, and also because the Hunya couldn't do Bibia, It's the way they think. And when Yanko Point 7 say, young for agree for right, we have to change the way we think. About intimacy, the way you think about what you're saying. Okay, into mano, Moon say, bread with my sage, but you can still be what? Appealing and attractive to your husband.
Okay. And I think you did mention last week, say the breast milk is the most balanced diet you can ever give to your child. So exclusive breastfeeding is very, very important. So I think that it's worth emphasizing that point as well.
Yep. It's very, very important. I mean, because I say, a commercial crana. Next or Bible HIV next or war, we would still advise the mother to breastfeed the child. Because a about friend temp
before AIDS.
Before HIV, sub-friend pubenya.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how important it is. And it's in God's own wisdom. And so again, it's another way. Okay, unfortunately, some of them will go high within 2 months. Maybe a case the better, maybe I think or similar like that. Maybe about 2 months, and unfortunately, or menstruating them, women are like, it's okay. I mean, I see what can you do, but very effective. Okay, and then we have other natural methods. We have the rhythmic method. We have the withdrawal methods, and like the symptom thermal method. Man, we check the temperature and the other. But then the man or more regular menses, and rhythmic method, like temperature, checking your temperature, so those natural ones now, we use a drobiano or IUDBiano, and the Ensembiano.
Okay.
And the Entiasia or Monese, our phone Betiasia, you guys agree, and then because Bonibia and the anyhow in a way, Boneba when one person, decide say, oh, be to member say a honest why they all bunyako so, and that's where the ethical situation and then the philosophical situation come to mind. And about other barrier methods, the same thing like condoms, when you prevent what the movement of the sperm and then the egg from coming together. It may be Biana Emma Bofrano M 4 minutes. Emma boy,
okay.
Like the contraceptives, because if I prevented the egg, from meeting the sperm, and you're okay with that. Okay. Now let's move forward. Now, about IUDs the problem is that IUDs is inserted into the womb right? And the idea is that it makes the environment what, like unpleasant for sperm, okay, movement. Like a copper iodine is a cool sperm before I bet travel to the fallopian tube to even fuse. And so they all prevent the sperm production. But sometimes, sperms in why they are very notorious.
Like that word.
Okay, they are very notorious. Say, in fact, if you measure the energy the sperm use, okay, the energy the sperm expends in traveling to the fallopian tube, you'll be amazed. Yes, and yeah, energy kitwa. Okay,
sir.
Obi joke say, also a lot of sperms are released, right?
Yeah.
And only one.
Hey,
only one.
Not just America, not just hey.
And the survival of the fittest, right? Only one can feel. That's what the amazing thing is, the guys, it's just amazing. Okay, I'm glad that at least we can talk about something but you are free abortion.
Yeah.
Abra at the point where the sperm and the egg meet, guess what? As soon as a fusion make, urbana egg, produce a very thick, hard substance. No other sperm can penetrate.
Wow.
Look at this. Can this be just human? Man, this is God. Only God can do this.
Yeah.
Abra fusion making a thick substance is formed, and no amount of energy can penetrate that egg again. That's it.
I see.
That's it. But anyway, let's come back. And some of the sperm are very notorious, and they find their way around the IUDs.
It's obey the obi bisasa obey them who says sperm be a notorious. Ebi all sperm obey them who say notorious and I say on a swim.
I mean, you cannot know, right? And that is why even though the purpose of the IUDs is not necessarily to prevent implantation. None of these contraceptives is made to prevent implantation. None of these would. Okay. All these oral and then IUDs thing is to prevent fertilization. Let's bear that in mind. Okay. But some of them, say, unfortunately, say a message not conception. Some of these, in addition to preventing, will make the womb unpleasant for implantation. That is where the ethical and the spiritual debate
comes in.
Okay. So the scientific debate, say these contraceptives, oral contraceptives, the scientific debate is that none of these are meant to cause abortion. None of these are meant to destroy conception. They are all to prevent fusion fertilization. That is the ethical, that's the scientific debate.
Before Albema, the debate, the scientific debate, the ethical debate, and all those other debates, I want you to just highlight also where the natural contraception. What who said they are saying based on the mechanism of action and said it what's answer the IU barrier method, condom, and also and also like problem will be in as far as abortion is concerned, because in couple promotion and any questions by a hormone in couple through doctor last week program say people are trying to revise the methods of contraception they've been used to or they have been using in the past. And we just want to highlight the various types. Condoms, natural methods, and I'm very glad you mentioned the breastfeeding part. It's very, very important. IUD, so these ones, one who say even IUD, sometimes sperm need one year notorious, they can bypass. So you explained all those parts. Let's just go on to the other parts quickly. Then you can summarize with the scientific and then the ethical debates. What trauma a chef for, then they can make their informed decision. So that is how I want us to approach the remaining. If you don't mind, let's quickly talk about the hormonal contraceptive methods, and then we can end with the other arguments. Now,
okay, yeah, that's fine. So yeah, it's any kind of natural methods, the barrier, right? So the natural, the barrier, and now we are on the hormonal. Okay, so the hormonal non IUDs. Okay, the IUDs is hormonal and then copper. Right, and then we have the emergency contraceptives. Okay, that commonly called the Plan B. Okay, or the after pill. Okay, and then we have the combined oral contraceptives. Okay. So we have the emergency. Emergency, we were different types. Okay, we are not going to go into it, but the different types, Say, so we have the different types of emergency contraceptive pills. In Ghana, I think the more the Pastinol, we have the Lenor, but all these things, an emergency contraceptive, they all contain one substance, the level, not gesterol. Progesterone, containing substance. Okay, and then mainly, what it does is that it prevents fertilization. Okay. That is the main thing. So we will come to debates, because the debates are actually on the hormonal contraceptives. That's where the debates are. Okay, and of course, obviously, the rest, there are no debate because they don't cause abortion. But the IUDs, the emergency contraceptives, the combined contraceptives, that is where the debate is. And that is where we as Christians, we have to be careful and to know this. Okay. And then we have the combined oral contraceptives. So we have different examples. The combined one is a combination of the progesterone containing hormone and the estrogen. Okay. So they all do that. Now, estrogen, the main function of the estrogen is to prevent ovulation. Okay. And then the main function of progesterone is basically two, but it also prevents ovulation. And then, scientifically and theoretically, say about bukumwa, it is believed, say, it also thins the endometrial womb. Everyone I hear, remember, say even say across for me, until comfortable in the womb, it will come out. Okay. But that is theoretical. Okay, and we will talk about it. Okay, we'll talk about it in a minute, because very important to me, now that we are talking about these things. So we have the natural, we have the barrier, and we have the hormonal. The hormonal, we have the IUDs. Okay, we have the emergency contraceptive, and then we have the combined contraceptives.
Okay. Thank you so much. And as I think that it is time for us to take some of the comments that have popped up so far in the comment section. So no better comments. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. This is Action Time, and we are giving you information free of charge, of course. When we say Chariot TV, we enlighten our viewers. So we are currently discussing abortion from the medical perspective. We've had our doctor here with us for the past 3 months, and he has been fantastic, as our viewers will attest to. And we are so grateful there. So as I said at the beginning of the discussion, wherever you are joining us from, just let us know in the comment section. My baby, I will show you na yema shout out or question bianswa fato comment section hono. When a doctor enya dream will be okan yemua fato honomo na yen share, then we can respond to it now that we have him on the show. But let's do that with respect. Yes, let's do that with respect. So we will take some comments, and then we will proceed with the discussion quickly. So Brother Patrick, yes, Patrick is sharing, Patrick KB of sharing all the way from Asante Bekwai and Kupon in short, Brother Patrick. Asante Bekwai men call her, but from the way I okay can say asante I said the man who baby asante be quiet ewo Nyankopon sha papa Yvonne and so ehwen was a good afternoon brethren Nyankopon insha Yvonne me ankasa me boss Jonathan and so ehwen was say watching from the port city of Ghana na just say on a nam tema important hono no so ehwen live Nyankopon insha Beatrice and so ehwen all the way from New York. Oh, Nyankopon insha say God bless you all. God bless you too. Beatrice, God richly bless you. So share the link to others. And then if you have questions, you can drop them in. And I think so far, no, I'm not sure, but I think so far, no, these are the comments that have come in. And no, we will proceed with the discussion. I think yɛbɛtoa discussion so mehu sɛ obi de ne comment aba mu quickly hey really man kan ahwɛ na Paul Cosby hey yɛhu na kyɛ Paul Cosby or say watching live from Nzima Elembele I think the western part of Ghana yes western part of Ghana Nzima Nyankopon hyira sɛ nyɛ western so ama yɛhu me dem dwen sɛ western okay. So I think so far that is those are the comments that have come in, and we will appreciate more comments into the monfa and to one monfa and my. So yeah, Doc, ubeti me atwaso.
Yeah, into these debates are okay. So let me the debate is big on the oral contraceptives, the hormonal contraceptives.
Yeah.
Why? Because because of their mechanism of action. Okay. I want to, reiterate, say, the intent of contraceptive is to prevent pregnancy. And all these contraceptives, and that is at least supposed to be the intent. And, the scientific debate is that some of these contraceptives, about the progesterone containing, like the levonorgestrel, any other contraceptives are containing progesterone mainly, usually, in addition to preventing pregnancy, or fertilization, they can also thin out the endometrium or the uterus. Okay, they can also make the endometrium unpleasant, unfriendly for implantation. And you say,
yeah, endometrium na annoy then I would
the womb,
okay,
yeah.
The womb unpleasant. I think viewers will understand that more.
True.
Medical school,
It's womb, I would baby abofrano, eba no beto final no onyine no. That's your womb, the line on your friend endometrium, inside, endometrium, muscle, into line and different endometrium.
Okay.
Into sa womb say unfortunately, it's a fertilization here. Our friend has to come to the womb to grow.
Yeah.
It's this hormonal, theoretically, and I say about my mechanism, confess year, Jumana, a bino, a timmy, Emma, or would any money de unfriendly, like a tenant out, MP marble friend in the year. And scientifically, a bit of my abortion idea, baby, Abba. Now, the debate, they say, we have not really seen it happening. Okay, that's the debate. We have not really seen it happen. Even though, you heard a quite fast year, Jumana, debate is see. But the more can I say, these contraceptives, a year, you might prevent pregnancy. Until you heard that statistics are actually say, even say, a pregnancy in poor eba. There's no statistics that say about frano because of the contraceptives. Okay, another debate on what can I say? Well, on one month contraceptives, about good amount. They quote about 40 to 60%. You are what implantation and number for number out as miscarriage. So and you cannot really tie and say what the best oral contraceptive. But this is what I will say. Okay. And that is where the ethical analysis of sanctity of life comes to play. Medical can say some of these contraceptives, and make it say, offer next unfortunately, but for me, I was about to womb. Some of these contraceptives, and make it womb unfriendly, and ma womb and prepare who ye. Sabo friend beba, interbortion betimaba. Okay. And how do we, especially as people, and most especially as Christians, make sure there's no way you can make sure except your conscience. It may make us say, two of these contraceptives, a bit to me, ama sabofrane for a bit to me, ama abofrano, a beto woman, abortion, bit my idea, abba. Scientifically, almost ANC. But by mechanical quite fast year, Jumano, a bit my idea bay. Yes. Me repeat you. Scientifically, no, by date, almost say, and go for reporting visa. But the question is that can these pills make the womb unpleasant, unfruitful for children to implant? The answer is yes. Even though, these pills, like especially the emergency contraceptives, because especially progesterone containing, and some of these pills, can make these things happen. And then I'm saying, bet me a medicine, what can we do? Okay, it's a very difficult answer to a very difficult question to answer. But the bit I can say, my conscience in your juma.
Okay.
Because me my culture say a bit me say offer next to be unfortunately no. Say about funny for me. About funny bit me I say because endometrium and I say uterus and you're friendly enough.
Okay.
It's the question is say based on this knowledge, and this is the ethical debate about the sanctity of what? Of life.
Okay.
So even though the science for say, and you see, but science for say this mechanism, it can happen.
Okay.
It's but Christopher, how do we deal with it? Your conscience. Are you going to play the game? Say, and I'm say ancient to me far cry now, but friend behind me, but I always say, be afa. Some of these medications here, when you miscarriage. I just wish, say, you have an example like that, but of course, people will not share.
Yeah, this is a very sensitive topic. I know. Say there might be examples there, but said very sensitive and it's very private.
But let me say this: who tell me? Next one for pills, maybe no one miscarriage. Obviously, no, that is abortion. Right? That is abortion right there. So what for pills, maybe that na for some reason, what I see, not what for frua. Na say onya miscarriage. Even though it is spontaneous abortion, in a you cause them because and I'm pure now fighting, and idea be a course here. Now, don't get me wrong. It never say and you're pure now. It never say it was just spontaneous. But how do we know? Right? You've taken the pill.
That's the question.
So
I think I'll ask you a question on that. Many question be aba. I will ask you. But what the fan to no answer. So yes, I believe say the wakano emudaho, and you've explained yourself. You've made your point quite clear. Say about a year hormonal, a year contraceptive methods now. We should be very careful because although scientifically speaking, the literature supports that most of these medications, are strictly or primarily, we use that word, are primarily meant to prevent ovulation and as a prevent the release of eggs. There is also the pharmacological mesomecha pharmacological. There is also the tendency say a bit miyama womb no and as a implantation to be impossible and as uncomfortable for or in the event say fertilization has already taken place. So it's a very tricky and a very dicey. So here's the doctor try to navigate through the intricacies of it. Now you could tell say it is a dilemma. If you are looking to purchase any of these drugs, I will a screen as well. These are the true issues on the ground. You wouldn't get them anywhere. So no professional, especially like many of no professional will actually tell you say these are abortifacients. That be strictly speaking or primarily speaking, they are meant to inhibit or prevent the release of eggs. Say the beya obano and tukusia na sperm biya ababe kama. But there is also the tendency of the same drug to cause the womb to be uncomfortable. So
yeah.
Mm.
And again, if you want to pin me, which some people have done, if you want to pin me, Bible they say whatever is not of faith is sin. Whatever is not of faith is sin. Because there are three, of course, me come Bible, I know say, but because of I know say it is running in somebody's mind. And if you be me, I let to be and I will run to the mind, say, okay, now what would you advise, right?
Exactly. In fact, that is one of the questions I have gotten. Say, what would you advise of
and it's fine.
Method and abortive? What would you advise?
Yeah, and again, I'll be happy to answer that. Like when it comes to these oral contraceptives, because of that tendency, our faith, our conscience is at stake here. Okay, and because the Bible say when we do something against our faith, whatever is not of faith is sin. Okay, my advice, because brother, we have several contraceptives, we have several ways. Okay, why can't we choose those ways at least a year safer, any kind of, agreeing him be Emma. Why can't we choose that? Rather than some of these oral contraceptives, oral pills that actually has the tendency to cause abortion. Okay, now you can make, one with my do your own research, but I would just say this. But they say when you're making research, make sure your information is credible, because most of the time they downplay some of these oral contraceptives. Oh, right? But deeper, definitely, like IUD, for instance. IUD definitely, makes the womb unpleasant. Definitely. It's, you're likely to get pregnant with IUD. You're likely to get pregnant. But what IUD does is that when you get pregnant, there's no place for the child.
Yeah, I think viewers can appreciate what you are talking about. IUD at that screen is and they insert it into your womb. So how can a child compete with this particular equipment in the womb?
Yep. It's no matter what you say, I would say the IUDs definitely, definitely would. I mean, when the child is formed, it cannot stay there. So I would not recommend it. I would definitely not recommend it. The IUDs, I would not recommend the hormone that has the tendency to what? To cause abortion, to make the womb or the uterus unpleasant for those. Of course, there are 1,001 other ways. We have the barrier, we have the natural ways, and then we will talk about what? We talk about the surgical way, vasectomy, and then we have what? The tubal ligation. tie your womb, man. Tie it. You know, you can tie your womb, and then at least you can have all the sex that you want.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and
I think the normal young fan can, but it's a very important point. So tubal ligation for a man, and then vasectomy for a man.
Yeah.
You can also employ these, and you see, we are exposing viewers to some of these things. You wouldn't get them from professionals.
No.
Say, these hormonal medications, and because we are medical professionals, but in our training, you realize they emphasize more on the inhibition of ovulation, especially for these hormonal medications. So said your can they tell you that the statistics that is in favor of the inhibition of ovulation. So rarely does it cause book be on pharmacology. I say rarely does it cause a friend is saying implantation issues, or does it prevent implantation? So yeah, even with the facts all can rarely, it means that there is something there.
Yep.
Yeah. So when you are considering your options, viewers, you should take some of these comments that we are making into consideration. You must take them into consideration and then see, say, okay, we want to take the chances and see, say, ABR, said the econo, and then the amount, but we will encourage you to listen to what we are saying and then take decisions appropriately.
Yeah. And again, it's very important because we are leaders, right? I mean, and Chariot TV is a leader too. Sometimes it's difficult for people to make a decision, and when we know that there are alternatives, there are better alternatives, we have to say it, right? We have to say it, because and that is where train up a child the way he should go comes in. Okay, everybody can be a child based on your condition or your situation. Okay, I can be a child tomorrow. I can be a counselor today. I'm a counselor today because of my knowledge that I'm sharing, right?
Yeah.
And Obia will tell me a child.
Yeah.
Okay, I can be a child tomorrow for maybe a lawyer.
That's true,
right? And the lawyer will be my counselor. So training up a child is not necessarily for children. Yes, they're primarily for children who are growing up. But by application and implication, everybody needs a counselor. The Bible says what among the multitude of counselors, a decision will stand.
Safety, yeah.
And this is the dilemma, but the dilemma is what is there in the dilemma is what the tendency for abortion to occur. And I'm glad I said, in your studies, they mentioned that.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Exactly. So now you have two witnesses. The Bible said in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses.
Every matter will be settled. Oh dear, I like that. Okay, and I think we've gone past an hour, and the discussion has just begun. Yes, I can see that the comments are coming in, but question. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. We are discussing abortion. We are discussing family planning, contraception. We've already made a disclaimer. Say this discussion pertains not to the unmarried. You'll be unmarried. I will share na fato adakem. As a fashion fridge, then you apply it. So the air can so mama so if you are wondering from the year discussing you don't want to be guilty of the shedding of innocent blood, which contraceptive method should you use? And then a doctor actually so many times what baby said natural ways seems to be the most effective. And if you don't like the natural ways and you want to do something extra, there are several other options available to you. For example, where your BEMA, you can look at vasectomy, where they tie your vas deferens or something like that. I think some surgical operation just to prevent the sperms from coming through your
and those are almost permanent.
And those are almost permanent. Yes, and those are not reversible. So yes, I would say they make now addiction was someone I just open some back as you bet. Me na me can say kona koyentina. Now I will see you, me so it is a permanent. Yeah, I know it is a permanent procedure. You can't reverse it. And a doc, you can reverse it.
It's almost, I would say about 99%. Okay. There have been rare cases they say that you can reverse it, but it's surgical procedure, right? Like the tubal ligation vasectomy, they are just going to cut a part of you, you know. If you're bound, they're going to just cut a part of you and then disjoint it, so there's no flow, so there's no continuity of so again, there have been rare cases where people, you know, of course, you know, it's money, right? You know, but the success rate is very poor. So I would say that it is permanent. I always say that it's permanent. There's no, you cannot reverse it. You can never reverse it. But yeah.
Okay. It's enough from the okay, you know, if I got something from what you said, not just say all the contraceptive methods, there was a tree if you number 1, IUD, number 2, hormonal contraceptive, whether emergency or the combined oral contraceptives. And the reasons why we should avoid these things, and I believe that you've made them explicit in our previous discussion. So we thank you so much.
And again, you know, if you're happy to see a hormonal that doesn't have that tendency, you know.
Yeah.
But
I think Kasano, before we come on Chariot TV, we do extensive research, and we also make sure that we bring qualified personnel to speak on matters they are credentialized in. So just to make viewers know, so in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. And so you are a counselor in this discussion because you are qualified to speak on these matters. So you are not just an ordinary person. So we have researched these things, and Mianka Sansono, I have also researched some of these things. And these are yes, these are in my domain, fortunately. So we are not just saying things haphazardly, but we know what we are saying. So we will definitely wait for people who have a different opinion to share in the comment section. But I believe that what we are saying, we know exactly what we are saying. We can provide references and strong defenses, or like something to buttress whatever the claims we are putting across. So you throw any rebuttals. That is just by the way. Yes, that is just by the way. So I just want to, before we close, for the past 3 weeks, and I come on 4th week, we've talked about so many things in abortion. You've highlighted so many points. The sanctity of life and where life begins. You've taken us through all the stages of the pregnancy, the stages of abortion, how the cruelty, the gruesomeness of it. And you've even given us your view as far as family planning. Say, opesa wote take nkwala entemwa. Say, oware for papa ben say why you Christian, papa ben or bit you can engage in family planning. You've given us all these explanations, and you've given us your advice, your counsel. It is left for viewers to make a decision based on all the information available.
Yes.
Now, before we end, will you walk us through some of the consequences of abortion? Because most of these, apart from having a spiritual consequence, the guilt that comes with it, which only the blood of Christ can purge it away from you, from your conscience. There are some physical consequences that emanate from abortion. We end this discussion touching briefly on some of these things, especially the psychological ones.
Okay. Yo, me that's part, brother. again, you know, the consequences, the effects of how a bad abortion is underrepresented. People don't report them. And I want to make this clear. Sometimes so we baby next baby you may, you know, you may think that, oh yeah, I've read the literature, you know. I mean, we're in a world of what? Of knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, show me the literature. Show me the literature. And of course, you know, you're going to have people who will tell you, oh, there's no literature because, but number one, people don't report it. Number two, they do, but they don't report it. So who do? Those who are going through. Who don't? Those who get the message.
Yeah.
Because if I'm producing these medications, if I'm doing these procedures, do you think I'm going to report and tell people, say, oh, people are struggling, people are suffering? No. It's yes, exactly. Yes, in your toe for that kind of and unfortunately, even though they're not supposed to be working, you know, okay, let me just stop. There's some profession where you don't necessarily have to do it, period, right? You don't, if you're a Christian, you don't sell drinks because you want money, okay? Because drinks destroy. So even though you don't drink, you're helping people's life to be destroyed. Okay, that's the whole point. It is a mean I'm going to make sure that I'll prevent any of my idea be. You know, me.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, these consequences, you know, so but what would you ever say about fiscal side, or would you ever say, you know, like maybe I'll be lose what would you, and you be cars, now if you be worried, now if you be okay, why no name say, and no, no, and you know, say, oh, your boss will tell you your own one. Let's be says here. Yeah, because they can help you actually restructure your womb.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, they can not surgery, but ABA head and yet because ABA what do you go? ABA stretches. And the stretches, it is preventing the flow of the sperm.
Wow.
And I say it is preventing the proper implantation. It's a journey, right? A journey from the ovary to the fallopian tube, you know, to your womb. So the womb is in the middle. You have your two ovaries there, and these are your fallopian tubes. And if you have any stretches or any stretches in the womb, but implantation by any because they are old. So yeah. Okay, and you know, say baby says you know, you can, you know, like talk, and then you may. So what the OBGYN, what they do, they'll just go in. Maybe they have to just, you know, like physically cut those stretches to create an opening. Until make us say, you know, but when you're a Christian, be sincere and come out. Okay, God saves and God brings peace, no matter what you have done in the past.
Yeah.
And those are consequences. Now let's go to the psychological, you know, consequences, and then probably we'll call it the day. And but psychological consequences now, and you know, these are legit. These are normal, of course. Now I can tell you for a fact that mental problems are even more serious than pathological or physical or anatomical problems.
Really?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Wow.
Okay. So bibenya sebi adwemu yare anase emotional disease, no? A word than sebi bibenya cancer.
Hey.
Oh yes. Say cancer.
We don't see it that way.
Because cancer is terminal, right?
Okay.
It's unya adwene say a bit me de ekum. Of course, I'll say some cancers are terminal. Let me put it that way. So again, say a bit me right? You have to go to chemo, and all that. Okay, but remember, say the ekuni probably area. The ekunu is not necessarily the disease, even though the disease can kill, but it is the thoughts. So obi and I want to HIV, obey clean, right? It's a child kind of show manifestation of what the disease. But as soon as we go hospital, you can say, what tested positive for HIV?
Now what buff them? Yeah.
What
the person
happened?
starts, yeah, that's true.
Okay, you know, say, Obi Oha, Nese or Pa won't Nese Maya or to dream so on him. In fact, obey test not way positive.
Hey, sir.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yes. We have false pregnancy. That some people they show the signs, they will vomit morning but they're not pregnant.
Sir, I see.
Again, the power of the mind, brother. The power of the mind. The Bible can say, God knows what he's talking about. And you know, these kinds of depression, and a depression, it comes in waves. And that's what makes it difficult and tough. Because you're not going to be depressed all the time. And KB, I said, I don't say a lifetime now. And do the same out here. You know, but you get better, a little better, then you wait.
Yeah.
You know, because it be about when your family may encourage you, hey, you know, and maybe you love to do no. Okay, you worry about what? Being pregnant in the future. Just imagine. So worry. So worry poor. They be all say, hey, 1 year about 2 years about you start thinking. Okay, and remember, say, sir, worry no cry no. So bibiampu enyewa. That worry alone will prevent you from getting pregnant.
Oh, sir.
Oh yeah, stress, right? Stress.
Oh, okay.
Stress suppresses your hormones.
I see.
It was a produce estrogen near the adeno now, ovulation near the adeno say, and not stress, you know. Stress controls your brain, and the hormones are a control the other part of the body. No. It comes from the master, right? The brain is the motherboard.
I see.
Okay. We have GnRH, and all those hormones will produce what? Your sex hormones. GnRH is in the brain. It's in the brain.
Yeah.
It is that what we are stressed at. The brain cannot produce those good hormones. And you know, that's why we advise them. And that's why I stress and about when they go for counseling, we ask them, have you been stressed lately? You know, relax it, you know, read a book, you know, go out, get some fresh air. You know, we say all these things. Why? Because we want them to have good mindset.
Yeah. I
But
see.
Going through this worrying about being pregnant, you know, just imagine how long can you be thinking about this? Okay, some people bench, you know, because say you know, like just to control the stress, control the depression, control the situation. Okay, again, decrease self-esteem. Okay, this is very important, right? Because before a year ago, no, even though at that moment you may think, say, it's the right thing to do, but you know, you've lost something. Okay, and the stigma attached to it. Okay, some people have nightmares.
Nightmares. I'm very interested. Like, so all these consequences now, okay, canon. These are not just textbook consequences.
No, these are researchers. These are
real people. Because we share title now, I'll say psychological consequences of abortion experienced by respondents. As right. These responses.
In fact, the reason this research was actually done even in countries that abortion is illegal.
Oh,
yes.
And they get nightmares.
Yes, they do.
Wow. I can see, because so I don't know. So nightmare. That's the in Kolana where you will be. I don't know. So nightmares. You can't really explain how they
I mean,
come.
because you're going to be, you're going to have post-traumatic stress, right?
Yeah.
PTSD.
Yeah.
PTSD is your experience. Like if you're a soldier, soldiers get PTSD a lot because they go to war and, they kill people.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes against their wish, because they are there. A good advice for a soldier is you are trained to use the gun to know when not to use it. So soldiers are trained not to kill, they are trained not to use the gun. Okay, and this is it sounds counterintuitive. And so every soldier, before they kill, they don't just kill, right? Because they are protectors, right? They protect the nation.
Yeah.
So their purpose, when they go to war, their purpose is not to be killing family members and the indigents. But say, I've done so baby, nice will be the bomber, a crabby, and the bomber tree, the children became about.
David.
Exactly. So that's where their PTSD comes, because they don't want to kill the child. But one couldn't swear a crabby say anymore. These soldiers, they would live with that. Some of them the rest of their lives. So when they sleep, they wake up with that thoughts, with that experience.
I see.
And that's what happens. Okay. Guilt, some of them regret. The last I can't say, if you're thinking about these things that, it's not late. Because the regret will definitely come. Okay. Some of them attempt suicide. Of course, we see this all the time. Okay. See this all the time. Okay. Some of them end up with other habits like drinking, smoking, doing drugs, because, in the quest of controlling your depression, your stress and anxiety, you need something to control it. And then you end up being more spoiled in that way. Okay. And briefly, these are some of the consequences, and they are very, very, real consequences that happen to our ladies. And girls, sometimes the men go through that too, especially in marriage.
Oh, okay.
Because someone worry. Just imagine what worry now is this will go through this. You the man, are you going to be happy?
Happy.
If your wife is crying every day, and guess what? Say what will happen to the kids? If your wife will cry there, we shouldn't even mention it. We shouldn't even mention it.
Yeah.
Because
I think at the beginning of the discussion, I think I gave an example. Say I was confronted by this couple, and they requested for it because of Akolano. And what maybe our viewers might be wondering, say, now I'm a ton of yeah. I just advised the man, say it is something that I can do, not necessarily for my conscience, but what I believe. I can't do that. I really encouraged him to see it as a blessing and not as a curse. Say, so yes, so I advised him, and Okacha be plain say Minkai who said there are so many pharmacies around. So Semen Tomana, he knows where to get it. That means this is my advice to him. So for those viewers who might be wondering what happened to that couple, or that,
just imagine the guilt.
Yeah.
You have gone through.
Yeah.
Now, if you had advised them, or if you had given them the pill.
Yeah, that's true.
Those who are even involved, because right, Romans chapter 1. Or see, the judgment of God is on those who do it, and those who support.
Yeah,
those who do it. It's in a Dr. Nika said he has been performing this for a very long time. But it dawned on him every single time that he was doing that, he was like, no, something is missing. So he had to stop. And when the consequences affect anybody that is involved in that, and God has made it that way.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you have also lived with the consequence, especially now that you can once say, asomaba.
Yeah. Oh, regarding the sale of oral contraceptives there, personally, because of the I kind of saying my training as a pharmacist, and my training as a pharmacist, in selling those like to say emergency and then the oral contraceptives, I do sell them. If you have the prescription or you request for it and I see say you qualify for it, I do sell them. But my thing was when you are in school and they teach you all those things, you don't really get time to assimilate most of the information. But from the kind, I went back and then I checked my own notes, and then I saw that this has been there all the time, but it's been on the marginal notes, like it's marginalized. So, rarely, said the kind, rarely does it cause prevent implantation. So I went back and I looked at it and I was like, oh, the whole kind of true. But the primary mechanism of action, and a meaning. So based on that, I did that with that conscience. It's just going to prevent ovulation.
Yep.
So for those who are wondering, yeah, we are having some of these discussions to renew or transform our thinking and then renew our minds.
Yes.
Say the romance ekan. So it's really been enlightening.
Yep. And trust me, some people, some Christian brothers and sisters, they own, like alcoholic stores, so they don't know. Okay. Not that they don't know alcohol, they don't know, say, selling them.
Okay.
Selling them. Because, so sometimes you have to, and that is why the Bible says in Titus 1, it said that the word of God is manifested through preaching.
Yeah.
Okay, Titus 1:3. So it's only through preaching that we can manifest the word of God. Okay, it's the noble why we do it. In fact, because abortion, they didn't know say bonnet because they first said, "I cry no be rape me," and as mean you are rape me. Who would think say bonnet so be about Friday you are rape, right? Like even if you cry, so when you cry now, I give you say no, God will understand, right? But like sometimes people say, "Oh, you already in your better I say," we have brought me braid, yeah. About America, I go for Trobi application. Was a CEO of Trust Limited. In Ghana, to get work, and people, try to, but
rationalize it. Yeah, there's
exactly.
a lot of rationalization going on. Yeah.
Okay, but it is true preaching that the Holy Spirit will quicken our hearts.
Yeah.
Okay, but if we humble ourselves, when we humble ourselves enough to receive the quickening of the Holy Spirit, we see freedom.
That's true.
But that's what the Bible says, right? You will know the truth, and it will set you free.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Doc. Yembreno Papa, and you've unpacked so many things for us. We yeda was it. Yankupon in shout. The washer, away and humpiano. Yankupon and Shimu in multiple folds. Na Oma Hontain, na Oma Ninche, na wa dream so. Na deɛ wohwehwɛ fi ne nkyɛn biara no ɔmfa ɛma wo ɛne w'abusua ɔma wo asomdwoe nso ɛwɔ deɛ woyɛ nyinaa emu. We really appreciate you so much. Nyankopɔn nhyira wo papaapa. I really want to have another discussion with you about medical issues. I think you'll be one of our resource persons on Action Time. You better was papaapa. You better also that viewers, I say you've been with us since the beginning of the program. I think last 3 weeks, and that must no comments. More send questions by sure say we've answered your questions. Because in the presentation, these questions were answered. So I hope that you got your answers from the questions. From the presentation. So more questions, you can always reach us through the comment sections. We always monitor the page, the Chariot TV page. So just drop in your questions. Doc the number I want me, I can always contact him, and then we can reply or respond to you if there is the need for a personal response. Yeah, we will try and do that. We can reach out. If you also want to reach out to us, you can reach out to us through Chariot TV, Facebook, YouTube. We even have a website, www.chariottv.com. You can reach out to us through any of these platforms, and we can help you. If there is any way we can help you, let us know, and we will do that. We will offer that help to you. And I think that Doc Edna no disem nyina baby wabonye mani nyina tofa ediamai ha ana yede ene dwumadie no ebesi na me sure say we've learned so much, and we are going to apply. The fact we're say you'll be able to apply, but now we are to go out and then exhibit what we have learned. Into moma yankai say we are Christians. Into the nyinaa no yema sa adwen no entena yemu said be ya na montutu ayetu when it comes to abortion and contraception. We will know what to do that pleases God. And ya di dwumadie ni nyinaa ebesi me a me di dwumadie ni mu chia me frɛ me Obed Nyankopɔn ya adom adasene ye besan so aba na ya betoa eye enkomo twetwe ne so. Until then, keep taking action. Ya kram nyinaa.